Guys, what's up? It's GVKCollectibles, and today we're going to be taking a trip to LV426 to see what the distress call is all about. As today, we take a look at the 40th Anniversary Wave 3 from Neca Toys. Hey guys, what's up? So it's GVKCollectibles, and today we're actually going to do something, a different kind of setup, which is kind of cool, as we got a ring light back here, which Jack's Pop Guy just bought. So let's give this this type of review a shot. So as I said today in the intro, we'll be taking a look at the 40th Anniversary Wave from Alien, from Neca Toys, of course. This is the third wave in the series of the figures, and initially the waves have been kind of weird for each of these particular figures. So Wave 1 was a Target exclusive, Wave 2 was actually just a regular release, you can get them anywhere. This third wave is initially supposed to be a Walmart exclusive. I have not seen these at Walmart. I was actually lucky enough, and if you were lucky enough to get these off of the Neca eBay site, which I was. So this wave contains three characters, as always, like with each of the waves, with the first one consisting of Dallas, Ripley, and the prototype Xenomorph. Wave 2 having Barker, Brett, and Parker, Brett, and a bloody version of the Xenomorph that after he killed Brett. And also with this one you get a Xenomorph 2, which is just a regular one, and I actually will get into the Xenomorph because I actually like this one better than the Ultimate one that that came out recently. But anyway, so let's get rid of some of these ones because pretty much pretty much all the packaging is the exact same on these figures. It is a tribute to the old Kenner figures from back in the day when when it was like back in the day when you didn't exactly know how to market a science fiction movie. Everybody took the Star Wars approach to make movies out of any movie set in space. You had to do toys on it, and they did Alien, and Alien isn't like Star Wars. Alien is a lot more violent, and it's a horror movie to say the least. So, but once again, you get a really cool shot of the packaging right here. This is pretty much with all the figures. The one we're particularly looking at is Kane right now. But you get this cool window packaging. Neca has been doing this kind of packaging for a while. I really love this 40th anniversary packaging because it does remind me a lot of the Alien 40th anniversary. It reminds me of like kind of classic looking toy packaging, which I really like. And then you get a back scene, then with the Alien, you get all the other figures in the wave. So you get a regular Xenomorph, you get Brett, Parker, Ripley, Bloody Xenomorph, Ash, which is definitely one of my favorites that came out of this wave, Dallas, and the prototype Xenomorph. As you'll see, Kane's not on the back of this packaging, but he'll be on the other ones ones that they are referring to. And there's a little bit of a read-up, so when I'll get up a little bit of a close-up of that so you guys can read it, so you can see the back. But there's at the top, once again, as always, Neca usually does a good job. They put the, the credits of who developed the figure, who had a hand in doing these figures, which is really, really great, and wonderful that they've done it. In 21st Century Fox, you get the Alien 40th Anniversary logo right there, and a good profile shot of Kane. And with that out of the way, let's get to the figures themselves. And here we have the whole entirety of Wave 3 of the 40th Anniversary line from Neca, and what I gotta say, I am super impressed with this line. So far, like, I feel like with a lot of people, the Alien figures from the 40th Anniversary Wave have been hit or miss. Luckily, I've had good luck. I think the Ripley figure is really cool, mainly because I don't want to spend an ungodly amount on the OG one, which a lot of people prefer. But this wave is really, really cool. Unlike the previous few waves of where we got re-releases from previous figures that we've seen before, this actually has a few new figures. One being Ash, of course. This Ash figure is really, really cool. I was actually really excited when they announced this at Toy Fair, I think 2019, I believe. But it's just been taking so long for them to get these out, which like they could have a deal with currently with Walmart. One thing I will say, the Xenomorph, I actually prefer this Xenomorph. I thought I was actually going to get rid of the Xenomorph at first because I had the Ultimate version, but I actually prefer this version of the Xenomorph, and I'll get into that later when we talk about him specifically. The Kane figure is really, really good. As far as I know, the only thing that has changed is the actual good John Hurt head sculpt. This is pretty much the same figure that came out like a few years ago. Not too much engineering. It still has single jointed elbows, which like I'll get into why I don't necessarily like the space suits. Like, and I'll say the compression suits are at least like they're cool looking, but they're like my least favorite figure. So, as always, these figures do come with a few accessories, mainly between Ash and Kane. Sorry, the Xenomorph not so much. As I said, the Xenomorph is essentially it's kind of essentially the ultimate figure without the accessories, which like a lot of people may have problems about. But maybe if you just want a good looking Xenomorph figure, this guy's the one to pick up. So as I said before we jump into the individual figures themselves, let's take a look at the accessories that they come with. As I said, these alien, mainly from Kane and Ash, they do come with a bit of accessories. So let's get into, I want to get into Kane first, because he only has a few new parts. A lot of the other parts that he had came with the first figure that came out way back in the day, and also like that are pretty similar to ones that from like the Lambert and Captain Dallas. So, as always, he does come with these two sets of, he comes with the two pieces of the helmet for the suit, which is really, really cool, really detailed. This one comes with, it's the clear bubble, which I don't think the original had. I think the only original had the head sculpt that we're going to show, but this is really cool, really great detailed. A lot of cool, very much with the other one too, a lot of cool, like, looking copper look to it. Copper and kind of, you get kind of also like a little green there, kind of so that maybe, hey, this is kind of older looking stuff, because these guys are essentially just space truckers, so they don't have like the most high advanced gears like in Prometheus and stuff, so which is really, really cool and really great. Plastic's pretty good, pretty thick, I would say. I don't think it'll break on you at all unless you try, but that's pretty cool. And also, as always, with both pieces with the this set one and the regular one, you can just easily pop them off and pop them on. Next one, these two kind of go, well, I'll save that one for last, but he also comes with the ray gun. So this, I actually looked it up because I was always curious, because this is actually a laser gun. So initially, like when this was still kind of a sci-fi kind of project before, this is way before Aliens, where we actually had guns and stuff, so we didn't know what exact kind of future we were living in. This is like a laser gun. In a deleted scene, Kane actually does use this to try to fire upon the egg when it opens, I think, which is very well. Actually, when he falls into the pit, I believe, with the eggs, he pulls it into like arm himself. But that scene was eventually deleted for whatever reason. I don't know exactly why, but the Alien films have a kind of, like, especially the first two, have a lot of like deleted stuff. Like, there's a lot of deleted scenes and stuff going on, and there was also big, like, 20th Century Fox didn't want to pay the company who did the Alien movie after. He also comes with a flashlight too, which, like, this is pretty much the same. It's a big blocky kind of box, which like all black and has a little like really good silver paint on it to basically. This is the one. It's a very similar one that all the Alien figures come with. Not the Alien figures, but all the like compression suit ones come off with when they're visiting the derelict or the Juggernaut, if you prefer, whatever you want to call it. Then this is actually the original. I believe the original face sculpt. I don't know if this is new, but it is Kane with the facehugger on him, which looks pretty good. Like, the facehugger looks really, really good, really well detailed. It's really cool to see it, like, how well sculpted it is, because this is, you would think this is just all one sculpted piece. No, this is two separate pieces. You have the you have the facehugger, then you have Kane's face, which looks pretty good. I think this is maybe the same fate. I have no idea, because I never really had that original Kane figure, so I can't really say. But the original Kane figure, this was, I think, the only face sculpt it came with, which was disappointing, because they couldn't get the rights to Sir John Hurt's like rights at the time, but luckily that's kind of changed with the 40th anniversary. And also, once again, with there's the cracked one where you're able to use this, but like, as mainly just because we'll get into it when we show off the Kane figure, I prefer the other head sculpt because it looks a lot cooler. So that is pretty much all of Kane's stuff. So now the new figure, Ash. So Ash is pretty cool. He comes with a few changeable hands. So he has 3 changeable hands right now. So he has a right and a left, and he has 2 right hands, and he also has one to hold the magazine from the scene of where he goes fucking insane and tries to kill Ripley, which is really, really cool. I didn't have this one initially on him, but I think I may change it just because it is such a, when I think of the character, this is what he's holding, and like it's a cool, really cool revelation in the movie that to realize, hey, he's a robot, which was really cool. Which is not like I don't think in the original script for Dan O'Bannon's movie, original script for Alien. So the next one is the face head sculpt of where he is decapitated, which looks really, really good. Where he gives a monologue about the Xenomorph and the reason why they were bringing it back. Saying it is the perfect organism. It's really, really well done. With all the milk, I guess, the synthetic milk, if you want to call it. Like, it always looked like milk to me, which I guess if you wanted a robot in the future, it had to, like, bleed milk, apparently, which is really, really funny. But it's really, really good. Really well detailed. As the wires and everything looks really, really good. Probably one of my favorite pieces on the Ash figure. And he also comes with I think a glass of water, or it's a glass of milk, assumingly, which is really well detailed. And he also comes with a few other weapons, not weapons, but he comes with a few other instruments. These are mainly science instruments that he uses when he's examining the facehugger. And also he does come with the poker too, where he pokes the facehugger after it detaches from Kane's face, which is really, really good. So that's pretty much all the accessories. There's a lot of cool accessories with both these figures. The Xenomorph doesn't, as I said, doesn't come with any figure accessories, but if you did wanted one with accessories, definitely pick up the Ultimate version, although we'll get into that. So with that out of the way, let's get into the figures themselves. I think I'm going to do it, well, yeah, you'll see what I'm going to do. So we'll get into the figures. So the first figure we're going to talk about, it's going to be the Xenomorph. And the Xenomorph is practically nearly identical to the Ultimate version, like in terms of paint apps and everything, which looks phenomenal. You get really cool, like, I love the Big Chap design. Well, I call it the Xenomorph. This is actually technically Big Chap. Actually, weirdly enough, when I was a kid, I actually called this guy the Giger, just mainly because of H.R. Giger was the first one, because each of the specific aliens had a different name for them, like the Warriors and the Queen. I didn't know this guy's name was officially Big Chat, so, but it is really, really cool. It's really cool because it isn't just a solid black color. You do get a lot of, like, you get brown, like some kind of tannish kind of colors here and there throughout the whole kind of design of the character, which is really, really cool, really well done. Neca has always done a really, really great job, I think, on their Xenomorph figures. I haven't collected too many of them just because I was a bigger kind of Predator guy, but luckily since this 40th anniversary wave has been coming out, I've been collecting a heck of a lot more of the Xenomorphs. So these look super, super phenomenal, really great. They really, truly nail the look of the Xenomorph from the films, and it's really cool because this is a translucent skull right here, which looks really good. Which looks, yeah, as I said, it looks phenomenal. And also, like, just generally, this is my favorite Big Chap figure I think I've had. It's really, really cool, really well done, and very unique. So there was something I actually wanted to bring up with this particular figure. So here we have the Ultimate style figure, and they look practically identical. So there's one thing I wanted to note. The legs on this guy are actually, they have ball joints. So if you could tell, there are ball joints right in the leg. So they're easy to move around, so they move individually. This guy is different. So this is an Ultimate figure, so you would think it would have better articulation, or the exact same articulation. So one thing I wanted to note is the legs are completely different. So this one is a lot longer than this one because of how the ball joint is set up. So this is a very, very, so instead of it being ball joints connecting each leg, this piece has a long extended piece that basically plugs in, that this leg plugs into. And it makes the figure not good. Like, look, it basically has it. So I don't know if this is, like, look, yeah, see? So a thing you'll notice is this leg has a ball joint connected to it. Like, not even a ball joint, but just like a joint connected to it. And even if I try to plug this one in, like, the legs just move back and forth. So this, I don't know if I got if I got scammed and I got figure swapped by mistake on this guy. If any of you guys in the comments know, just let me know. So yeah, that kind of sucks. As I said, I much prefer this guy now, because I do think the articulation is a lot better on this guy in comparison to the other figure. So let's actually just get into articulation real quick. So with the Xenomorph figures, they can actually, arms can move up that far. The head can look up a little bit. It is a little hindered just due to the piece in the back right here of the neck, but it can look down a bit. He does have an ab crunch, which is really, really good, just because you want him to get into those kind of like creepy kind of poses. He does have double jointed elbows, double jointed arms, which is really, really good. His hand hinges up and down, which is really, really good. And it can also swivel around, which is really, really great. Oh, yep, there we go. Legs can move out that far. They can't really move all too far out just because of the hindrance of the plastic piece right here. But he does have double jointed elbows, articulate elbows. He can move his. He has a pretty good ankle pivot right there. And he also got the articulation toe, which is really only the example of these Xenomorph figures. And he also has the articulated tail too, with a bendy wire, which like is really, really good and really great. As I said, probably one of my favorite Xenomorph figures. So let's get on to the next one. And here we have Kane. He's the next figure in the wave that I decided to talk about, mainly just because this was a previously released figure, but the only thing that's new about it is the new face sculpt that has John Hurt's likeness, and man, it looks, in my opinion, it looks really, really great. I think it looks really spot on to Kane, and this is definitely the one face sculpt that I'm going to be rocking with. He's going to have in my collection. This is what he currently has in display. But yeah, once again, compression suits, which I really appreciate with each one, because I actually have the old Lambert and I have the Captain Dallas. Each compression suit is completely different in terms of color, which I think is really, really cool. So Kane has this yellow kind of suit, Dallas has a kind of pinkish kind of suit, then Lambert has a blue suit, or like a little navy blue suit, which is really, really cool. So like the suit in general like is really well designed. I love the compression suit designs for Alien. They're really, really cool. Essentially the space suits. You get this plate, it has Kane's name on it, very much like any other company would do. But you get like little cool details here and there. Like it's really, really cool and really unique of a design, I think, of for this particular figure. The one thing I will say about this figure is the articulation is dismal. That's not necessarily the fault of the figure. It's just I think this is essentially an older mold. This is like a way old mold. Like if they had updated this mold, it would have double jointed elbows and everything. But he does have like, I can't even get it to move. But I'm like, I don't want it to. But like he can. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't want to force it too much because like he can. It's a single jointed elbow. His arms can move up a little bit, but like, and once again, the pauldrons right here for like the suit, they're kind of like this soft plastic, so they're easy to move. Then you get a single jointed elbow as far as you can possibly get. There is a swivel on the arm right here, which is really, really good. Then there's a single jointed knee, and he can move his leg out that much and that much, and you can bend it quite a bit. And there's a bit of an ankle pivot for Kane right there. But as I said, the compression suits, like, while I think they're really well detailed, like, and even like as I said, even when I was talking about the helmet, they have this kind of like copper/tan look that is kind of faded with this blue. Maybe it's just because the copper is fading away, which looks really, really cool and really well done. Like it's almost rusting essentially. It's like space rust. Really cool. The compression back is really, really cool too. The head sculpt, as I said, is the thing that makes this figure. I think it is like, while I don't necessarily like the articulation on the figure, just because they really didn't move around all too much. They didn't move up around all too well in the Alien movie, so I'm kind of okay with the articulation as it is. Not to say that it's not one of my least favorite figures. I just don't like this body mold. Like I've had it for 3 times. I've had it on the Dallas. I've had it on the Lambert, and it's just like the mold. I feel like it needs an update, but like that's just personally my opinion. I think the suit, like the details and everything on it, look really fantastic, really wonderful. But yeah, and then it looks really, really good. And as I said, the articulation is kind of abysmal on this particular figure, but that's, I wouldn't say that's on the fault of anybody. But oh, and they also, well, he can kind of do a crunch, but once again, it's like, well, oh, I didn't notice that. So this is actually part. So if you want to get him into like him looking at the egg, you can, because this piece is completely like plastic, like a soft movable plastic, which is really, really good and really great. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Kane. So let's get into the last figure of the line, which is Ash. There we have the last figure of the wave, the one that is the newest figure of the bunch. It is Ash, aka played by the late Ian Holmes, which I was very sad when he passed away. But this figure is really, really great. He's actually really small in comparison to the other figures. He's really tiny compared to Ripley and like Kane and all the other figures in the line, which is really, really cool, which I think was the case on the movie. It's been a while since I've watched the movie, but like I think I need to rewatch it. But yeah, the face sculpt looks like Ian Holmes, which is really, really great. Like, he has a real, like, because you don't really expect him to be a bad guy. Like, yeah, it's pretty normal. So that revelation of him being a robot, a synthetic, is really, really cool and really well done. Once again, the suit detail is really, really great. I love how each of the characters with the different suits and everything, each of them are completely different. So Ash is I believe, the medical officer, or science officer on the Nostromo. I could be completely wrong. I'll put what he properly is, but it looks, well, no, he had to be a science. Like, he has to be a science. But like, the suit is really, really unique, really well done. You got the little, like, you get even small little details here, like right here. It's kind of hard for the camera to pick it up, but you get the Wayland logo, which I think it was Wayland at the time. It could be Weyland-Yutani, but it is the Weyland-Yutani logo. On the side, you get the Nostromo pack, which patch looks really, really cool and really well detailed. Like, it's so like small, but it's well detailed that I gotta give Neca props for it. This is actually probably one of my favorite figures out of the wave, next to the Xenomorph, of course. Not to say that John Kane, I really like all these figures, but if I have to pick a definitive favorite, it's this guy. It's just so cool and so unique. So he does, in terms of articulation, since he is this is a newer molded figure. This is actually a newer figure from Neca. He does have the double jointed elbows, which is really, really cool, which I really love. So we can, get into suffocating Ripley. God, that was dark. But yeah, it's really, really well detailed, really great. Like, it's probably one of my favorite figures in the wave, and it's just such a simple figure too. Like, it's just a dude. Like, it's not like the Xenomorph is really well detailed too. Like, NECA, I feel like it's always nailed the mechanical look of that Giger's design does. Like, they always do a really great job. But man, they do a really good job on their human figures too. Like, this guy, and I think there was one recently where I was just like, oh yeah, the John Nada from They Live. I really love that figure too, which you'll see a review on that guy. So to get into terms of Ash's articulation, he can look up a lot, which is really, really cool, really well done. Then he can look down all the way too. His arms can move up all the way, very much like a T-pose. Then he has double jointed elbows, as I said, which is really, really good, and I really love that in terms of a figure. And also, and it's cool because of how different the molding is too, because it isn't one interconnected piece. This is actually two separate molded pieces, which looks really, really good. He does have wrist articulation, which is really good. Then he can swivel all around, of course, because it's on a ball joint. He can kick his leg up about that far, just because due to the hindrance. Like, I feel like the NECA figures are always like this with the human figures, in particularly, like mainly this area, because there's a bit of the soft plastic that is hindrance right here. He doesn't. I guess he doesn't really have an ab crunch. I think there's one in there, but it's kind of like hard to move just because due to the articulation of the clothes. You can look up. It's a single jointed elbow, knee, and he does. Yeah, there's a little bit of articulation there. There's a bit of ankle pivot right there, which is really, really good. So yeah, that is Ash right there. So let's get into some size comparisons. Well, let's compare them all in size, essentially with each other, to see what they scale with. Here's Wave 3 comparative to some figures from other companies, including one from Neca, of course, as I always do. Here he is compared to the McFarlane Arkham Knight Batman, the Wicked Cool Toys Master Chief, and of course the NECA Ultimate Jungle Hunter Predator. So they, like, clearly the smallest figure out of the bunch is Ash. He is a lot shorter, like, he's dwarfed in comparison to the Xenomorph, as always. Kane, Xenomorph is probably the biggest of the figures, and also Kane is like clocking in at second. So it is interesting to see all these characters side by side, including Master Chief with the Predator and Xenomorph. So I mainly compared the Predator just because it is the first appearance of the big chap, because I wanted to compare something to Predator's first appearance, which was the Jungle Hunter 2. So if you want to see these two fight, which is really, really cool to see. But yeah, Ash is clearly the smaller figure. Even though he is a 7-inch scale figure, he is relatively smaller due to his size, which I'm completely okay with. Here is everybody with the USS Nostromo, which, like, it's super cool to have all these figures finally, even though they're maybe not all in their, like, the gear, like their the gear when they're in the Nostromo itself. But it is super cool to have all these figures too, and then you also got the big chap looking at the background. So overall thoughts about Wave 3 of the 40th anniversary wave. I think it's really, really good. There is a few missed opportunities right here. The figure that surprised me the most was definitely the Xenomorph, as I ultimately like this one better than the Ultimate version. My favorite figure is definitely the Ash. My least favorite has to be the the Kane figure. But once again, the new HUD sculpt is really, really great. Looks really like John Hurt. And also, this series has also been really, really cool, really well done by NECA. Just a few other ones that's not shown, the Blade version of the Big Chap, or the Translucent, the prototype suit. But once again, if you are looking to pick up this wave, you can find them at Walmart. You could possibly still find them on NECA's eBay store. That's where I got them, and I've been really happy with them. No QC issues whatsoever with any of these figures. So yeah, if you love Alien and you just love that original film, I would definitely this wave. All these figures I think are definitely a must-have in your collection if you want to have the whole crew of the USS Nostromo. So with that out of the way, that's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember, hit like and hit subscribe. Also hit the little bell notification so you get notified when figure reviews, What's in the Box Wednesdays, Mythical Mountain Mondays, and even maybe a Surprise Tuesday video. I am probably thinking of doing me talking about more about movies, because I really, really love movies, and as much as I love action figures and collectibles, so I may do that too. It just depends on what I'm feeling of talking about. So, and if you guys wouldn't mind, also check us out on Instagram. I'm GVKCollectibles, of course. You can also check out my brother at Jack's Pop Guy, and also check out our respective Mercari shops. So, with that being said, I hope you guys have a great weekend coming up, and be safe, and peace.